70% to 30% they do the dancing with. So we're talking about the dancing with. We'll start again, I see some Goldstein. We'll explain that. Again, let's start again a little bit. The basic foundation is Rahmana Liba Boy. God wants our heart. Wants our heart, the whole heart. And a quarter of the heart. And a third of the heart. Wants all the heart. We find a lot of people give God maybe 3%, 10%, 20%. And the rest they do a wiggle and a dance. What's a wiggle and a dance? They go through the motions. Some people go through the motions that they are listening to God. Meanwhile, they do what they want and how they want. They do their own things. Some people don't even do the wiggle and the dance. They just outrightly don't do. When it comes to 20%, 10%, they're there. We start off with a story of Esav. Esav. Let's talk about Esav. Esav wiggles and dances and does what he wants. He came to his father. He asked his father, what did he ask his father? How do you do Meiser on, how do you do Meiser about this? His father said, wow, what a very nice, a wonderful child. This child's going to be a big Talmid Chacham, a big, great, great person. But what do you do? The wiggle and the dance. And then he does what he wants and how he wants and what he wants. Meanwhile, we call deaf parents, deaf mothers that don't listen to the mother or the father. They don't listen to the Rabbis. They do the wiggle and the dance, whatever they want to do. Now we get Esav. He does the wiggle and the dance. We have two famous stories. One story is that Esav sells his birthright to Yaakov. He sells his birthright to Yaakov. Finished? Why he sells, we'll explain in a minute. So now when it comes to the blessings, and Yaakov gets the blessing, and Esav comes in, and he finds out that his brother took the blessings, what does he do? He makes a primal scream. Primal scream. What happened? He goes to his father, like a baby, and he says, what? How about you have no blessing for me? How about Mordechai? Either way. If he believes that his father's a tzaddik and that the blessings of the father have any meaning, so how come all these years he wasn't a good boy? If you know you're getting the blessings from your father, you're going to get an inheritance. So then you act good, you want to please. And if you don't believe, so what do you want? What do you want? If you don't believe, what do you want? Again, let's get the story. Esav now comes to the day of judgment, and Esav finds out that his brother took away his blessings. What's the problem? He sold it. He didn't want it. We'll explain why. So what happened? He screams, a primal scream. I'm assuming that his father's him. And then he asks his father, bows down to his father, and please, don't you have any blessings for me like a baby? He asks him, Mordechai, either way. Does he believe that his father blessings have meaning? So then he should all along be good. He doesn't believe the father has blessings, so then what's his problem? What does he want? And this was the other day. A man, a wealthy man, and he's now redoing his will. Because one of his granddaughters now married a guy, a lawyer. He's married a guy. What kind of guy? A carpenter. Oh, no. Well, rich one, he's not a carpenter. What's happening? So he's redoing what his bothering his soul. Okay, she wants the money, so she thought she'll wiggle somewhere. I'm going to come to the edge, she'll get the money anyway, because she has a good relationship with her grandfather. And now, his grandfather's a point, cuts out. Let's talk about Esav a little bit. Esav, why did he sell the Bechor? Why he sold it? He sold it because he figured But to be Bechor, you have responsibility. And will he be able to, with his nature, of following his lust and desire, be able to withstand and keep the Bechor, to be able to keep up to that high standard? Does it pay for him? So he made an evaluation. Does it pay for him? Doesn't pay for him. He came to the conclusion that the brother's ready to, he's starving now. He knows the hardships, and he gives it up. So he believes it's important, but he feels that he is not fitting. He feels he's not worthy. He has a wrong, a negative type of feeling about what's going to happen. So he gives it up. When it comes to push and shove, he figures a way. He thought maybe he'll give it up. He'll get it back because he's a crook. Who knows what? But the answer is at the end, he gave it up. And when he came to the real story, he thought his father, who loves him so much, how a father never will cut him out of a blessing. He had this extra love. Where does it say in the Torah? Hey, Sony Beno, what's it? You love your son, you don't hold back your will. And this refers to Esav. He felt his father loved him. The real truth was his father loved him too much, and he knew that love. So he gets away with everything. All the wiggle and the dance. He fools his parents deaf, teaches deaf. The Esav does what he wants. And what happens when a person does something wrong? He loses his balance of what his goal is, or he feels he can't do it. He makes the wrong decision. We say, what a person does unless he has ruach shtus. What's ruach shtus mean? Doesn't say he follows his passion. He makes it not proper value judgment. Ruach shtus. Now, he makes the wrong decision, and then, because he makes a decision one after the other, it causes all kinds of problems and situations, and therefore, the person feels bad, he can't do back, can't do tshuva, and all he's far gone, and who knows what the story is. So a lot of our children do the wiggle and the dance, and we think that because they do 10%, at the end, after hollering and screaming, they listen to their parents, or go to the Yeshiva, or daven, then my son is religious, he's good, he's a good boy. But he did a wiggle and a dance, 80%, 50%, 60%, only 10% he doesn't. So in a certain sense, that's like, we'll show you Esav, we'll talk about Nimrod, we'll talk about all these types of people. Okay. But what does God want? God wants Rahman Olibo, God wants our heart 100%. 100%. And if you listen to Hashem, give your heart, somewhere along the line, He might reward you. You see. Right away, or later. Right away, something. Now we're going to talk about Nimrod. The Ran says that in the Ran, in Dreshus Haran, he says that what is the sin of Anshe Dor Haflaga? It's hard to explain. There was an argument. She tells over the story. It was very strange to understand what does Dor Haflaga want. What do they want to do? They want to fight God, make a big skyscraper fight God. They fight God. It's crazy. Second of all, they thought they'll make this big McDonald and hold up the heavens. Yeah, crazy. So therefore, Isaac Shiur in his book explains that. What was his problem? What's the Nimrod problem? When I was young, just got into high school in Yeshiva. I went to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak those days was a high school and a college, and they had there also a doctorate program, all in the same building, like a big schoolhouse, but in different floors, different places. So I was an inquisitive person that time, and when the professor came out of the class who teaches for the doctorate program, I asked him a question, an interesting question, which somebody asked me to ask. He said, the person who asked that question has a Nimrod complex. So the person out, I found out years later, and I found it in the Chofetz Chaim, our Torah brings down that these are certain type of personalities, and I developed years later the Paro complex or the Cow personality. And there's a lot of losers that people who look like they're winners are losers. Let's take Noah, for example. Noah, in a certain sense, was a winner that he was saved from the generation, but it was only himself who was needed and his family. I quoted on Rosh Hashanah last week that when Esav and when Esav and Yaakov in the stomach of their mother, so Yaakov says to Esav, Olam has food, drinking, eating, wife, children, money. Olam Haba doesn't have food, eating, drinking, wife, children, no money. So I'll take Olam Haba. And what do you want? Olam Haz or Olam Haz? He said, I'll take Olam Hazeh, of course. Okay. When Yaakov came back from Lavan and he had a wife and children and animals and had money, so Esav said, what happened over here? What happened over here? You broke your contract. He said, no, this is what I need to live, and God gave it to me. And here we learn, and Esav said, you're right, maybe I'll make a deal with you. We'll share Olam Hazeh. This we could get when you don't have any Olam Hazeh, you get such Olam Hazeh, so let's make a deal. So, Yaakov wiggles out, let's make a deal. But we learn from there that to get what you personally need, since B'shvili Olam, the world's created for you, you get exactly what's Mukhrach. What's not Mukhrach is called Miyutar extra. That's taken away from the contract from Esav. But you have to recognize it comes from God as a gift. So therefore, Noah, since he had to live himself, he had to have to him to live in his world called life. He needed his children, his wife, all those type of animals, all types of things, in order to start his life again. But it's only his personal life, not the life of the world. He was saved personally. Now, although Noah was a tzaddik, and a tzaddik, the word tzaddik, according to Shimshon verse means tzedek. You don't look into yourself, I like and I want, but you judge a thing abstractly, what's right and what's wrong. Not what I like, what I feel is good or bad. It's what's right and wrong. That's what tzaddik, abstract, right and wrong. Tomim means I put my emotions, love and care, whatever I'm doing. And Saleh means a derech, which means a formula that he does things. But with all that, what he did, he didn't reach the heights of Avinu. And therefore he was just saved. He saved himself. Well, we're going to say he was saved and saved himself, which means himself and his family and the trees and the animals that are needed. But when Abraham came, he got schar kula of the both 10 generations from Abraham to Noah and from Noah to Abraham. Abraham gained the reward of all. And we come from Abraham in the sense that the reward, a new way of thinking, a new way of analyzing things, a new understanding, we come from Abraham. So though Noah is a wonderful thing, but since we come from Abraham, so we don't want to do things like Noah does. We want to do how Abraham does it. Abraham got schar kula. And therefore, there's a greater demand upon us to be like Abraham, not like Noah. So we may be doing things in religion like Noah. We think, well, Abraham, that's not true. Abraham has a certain path, a certain way of doing things that we have to follow. That's only before Sinai. And after Sinai, we have a greater responsibility because we're Mitzvah Ve'os, we're commanded to do. Okay. So again, we don't want to be like Noah. We don't want to be like Esav. Let's talk about Nimrod. Nimrod again, we talked about. He was a gibor. So what did he do wrong? Well, I'll tell you what he did wrong. He really brought sacrifices like everybody brought sacrifices to God. He believed in God. Except he was a gibor. He believed in strength. He realized the heavens and the sun is much stronger than him. So he believed that much stronger, but he would take the strength that he has, and he would, instead of taking sacrifices from behemoth, which are domesticated animals, like a keves And about Yonah, he took a lion, a nesher, these big chayas, and he made sacrifices. It shows strength. What he believed in strength. Therefore he believed in Memshala, which is government, and a government in the whole world. So what was wrong with what he did? He got everybody together, united people together, to work together with love and harmony, with one world, and with care and consideration, and social benefits and social welfare with government and system. What? Nimrod. Yeah, communism or capitalism or socialism, whatever ism you want, or Israelism, Israeli governmentism, same thing, no question. Same thing, all the same thing. What was missing? The missing was that when he brought a sacrifice, it wasn't himself, it wasn't his heart, it was his internal being. So though in a way he externally was good, but he made the wiggle. He didn't give God 100%. Rachmanli, God wants what? 100%. And 100% he didn't get. Because he did only external outside power.
He didn't
He didn't want to change his internal self, surrender as an individual being. So he's ready to do this and that. He believed in God. Believed, but what way does he believe in God? Rahmanu, did he 100% with all his heart internal, or just external? And that's an important part. Judaism is internal. You don't know what percent. What do you believe? You give your full heart. You're only 10%. Not take the blame. People of other Jews, they'll do all kinds of bad things. And perhaps if somebody dies, and they'll not pile up and right away, they'll sit shiva. Or Yom Kippur comes, they'll this. Even Jesus Yamach Shemo, he claims he was a god when he was being hung up, strung up. He says, God, help me! When they say that a soldier in a foxhole believes in God, it means all the time he forgets. All of a sudden he believes that what percentage is God. He does the wiggle, does what he wants and how he wants. But in a certain place he believes in God. But is this what God wants? He wants Rahman, God wants your heart. He wants 100% of your heart. He's a jealous God. He wants you 100%. Of course you can love God and you can love ice cream, you can love your husband, love your children, but in the sense of a higher force, he demands 100%. So therefore, Nimrod, in that sense, he caused trouble because he didn't go and work with his heart. And therefore, what did God do? God spread them out. Now, there's a need for man. It comes to a situation, and this is brought down, we brought it down by a sefer called, the sefer which Yeshiva helped print, and the Seixas here, the husband printed out, called Cheshbon HaNefesh. And the Cheshbon HaNefesh has a little story here about an American snake and bird. A little bird, tweet, flies, gets onto a tree. Now a bird flies all over, gets on a tree, and the snake uses its enemy, which it wants to eat him up, quickly sees him, goes on his stomach, goes the snake quickly, and stays under the tree, and opens its mouth wide. And the bird sees the snake. What happens to the bird? It loses its balance, has fear, it loses balance, and falls right into the mouth of the snake. Again, let's get that story here. What do we learn from the story? There's a bird, he tweets, that flies, and a bird can fly anywhere. Here the snake is on the ground. Why can't he run away? Why did he fall in today? Why can't he fly? All of a sudden, that's on this tree. And the snake sees open his mouth. And the bird sees the snake, loses his balance, gets fear, loses his balance, gets all of a sudden like paralyzed, and falls down into the mouth of the snake. The God has to feed everybody but everything. So the Cheshbon HaNefesh tells same thing about a person. There's also a person when he wants to do an avera. He'll go all of a sudden, like you eat food, you see the food, you're on a diet or a tithe or a lust, and you're looking at it, and all of a sudden, somehow, some turns in your body, and all the cake is down the stomach, or whatever it is, or your tithe is done, or whatever is done. It's done quick and fast, and the the soul pushes you somewhere. So therefore he says, let's think of a general. A general in the army, he's not in war, he's fighting, nervous, everything. A lot of things depends on it. But he has to go into the tent, so to speak. That's how he has and he has to have his cool, sit down, he has to figure out how to win the war. So when does the person lose the war, when they lose their cool, they get cast, tired, or whatever, and there's something that hooks a person, makes a person nervous, a breakdown, whatever it may be, and you lose the balance of your seichel. You lose the balance of your seichel. You lose the balance of your seichel. So then the taiva comes in, the body comes in and pushes, and then you'll lose your balance. So things in your life.
So therefore, it's important that you don't lose your balance. That's called menuchas hanefesh. Balance menuchas nefesh, which means your seichel has to override your lust, desires, what you want. And that's the beginning position in the menuchas nefesh. They need sablonas, they have patience, that you have to do the thing right, you need seder, organization, and goes on.